Hi everyone, it's Ed. I'm just making a video for my colleagues that wanted to see how to import some data into Microsoft Excel and generate some 3D maps. I do this with my undergraduates in my research methods course, and it's a good introduction to look at hotspots and also stacked bar based on geographic location, and also make sense of some big data. And it also teaches the students about large data sets. So the data that I commonly use is from Analyze Boston, which is from data.boston.gov, and they have many different data sets there. The one that I chose is crime incident reports, and it ranges from August 2015 all the way until yesterday. And if you scroll down, once you get to this website, you can download this CSV file, which I did down here. And then once you open it, what you want to do and what you have to do to load 3D maps is to save as an Excel workbook. Because it's a CSV file, you have to change the file format to Excel workbook, and that will enable the 3D mapping feature. So once you have this loaded in, you'll see all the variables, and the students can see how many cases there are too. If you scroll down, you can see that there are, over 42,000 cases available, all the way, every case from 2015 is there. What you have is offense codes, what the offense, the district it took place in. You have the area, whether or not there's a shooting that took place with that, so you can filter based on these variables, which is helpful also. And the date, time, year, and importantly you have the geographical coordinates here, so latitude and longitude, which will help us load that into the 3D mapping. So if you go to Insert, right, so you have your ribbon up here, go to Insert, 3D Map, and this might take a second to load because it's going to use some graphics. And the students really like this because in the computer lab every student has the opportunity to go through this exercise. So here it is. So once this is loaded, you'll see that you have the globe available, right? And it automatically loads in latitude and longitude. So you can see where Boston, Massachusetts is, and it's already there. So what you want to do is you can zoom in, right? You can zoom in here, and it just kind of looks like a blob, but what that really is the thousands of cases, tens of thousands of cases in Boston. So what we have to do, and what I have students do, is start to filter this. They can change their theme, and so you have it loaded in on the maps powered by Microsoft Bing. And what you want to do, and what I have students do, is choose a new theme, and they can choose any theme they want. You can change it to GPS. You can change it to nighttime. And what I do with this is I'll zoom in. So what you want to do is, you can see here you have various layers, and you can zoom in here, and what you want to do is add categories. So this is what's going to be displayed, because right now you're just getting every incident overlapped. So if you want to choose the offense description, right, you can choose offense description, And that will give you some layers here, right? And you can see how it loads in right away with a stacked bar chart. And each attribute of the variable is listed. So there's all sorts of crimes that they keep track of, including animal abuse, child abuse, bomb threats, and anything like that. You can see that it gives you a stacked bar chart, right? So under the data, you can see where it's grouping up, and you can tell that in this location it'll give you the offense that you're interested in. So with that, you can add more filters, and students can change that to a heat map. So I know some of you are interested in heat maps. So you're still looking at the filter in the layer. So you want to add the value, which is the incident or offense description, and we're still mixing it all together. So what we want to do is add a field, and right, so there's other controls here like aggregation. So you're looking at the sum. You can also look at averages, and you can include zeros, negatives. You can change the color to a custom color. And what you want to do, or what I have students do, is choose a crime type. And you do that by adding a filter. You can add a time also, occurred on a date, so it kind of automatically adds that in. And you can look at things like days of the week, right? So you can look at a particular year, right? So days of the week, years, let me get rid of that. So if I only want to look at weekend crime, I can check off Saturday, Sunday. So I'm getting all the crime that happens on weekends and where that correlates. So you can see that there's hot spots starting to form as I filter out more crime. And you can just keep adding layers until you see what you're looking for. So you can keep adding filters. I'll add another filter. Offense group for shootings. So why don't we just choose shootings? So we'll look at all the shootings in the city that took place from 2015 until yesterday. So I added shooting, right? So it gives you the attributes of the variable. So Y would be yes. So here we have all the shootings that took place on weekends and where those occur. So this may be useful. You can ask students how they might find this useful. And you can rotate the map. You can actually make video tours and narrate. So if you want to have students give a presentation, they can narrate and have it rotate, zoom in. And it works really well because it will automatically load in the big data file. And that's why I like it, and that's why I use it with my students. And so far it's been very useful. So again, when we start to zoom in, we can see the map of where this is in the city. If you want to look at where exactly this is, right, you can go back to the stack bar and get the latitude and longitude, and then type that into Google Maps and actually find the street address, right? Or go back to the case and find out where that is. And that can also help students think about where the crimes are taking place in the city. And I think Chicago has some data available as well. I have my students look at drug arrests in Chicago. So these are all the crimes that take place during the weekends, all the shootings. And as you can see, I can just keep adding days, right? So obviously if I click off all these, it's every shooting that's taken place. Right? And you have this hot spot down here. Or maybe it's getting warmer, right? A warm spot. And it's really useful. So I hope this video was helpful. There's other things you can do. You can play around with it and add layers. You can do all sorts of stuff with this. So my advice is just to play with it and see what else you can do. You can take pictures, create videos, create tours. You can use a 2D chart as well, right? And get some bars. So there's all sorts of interesting tools. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want any more information, you can send me a message on Facebook or even email me at edweeks@lasell.edu. And thanks for letting me share this video with you.